Oh, jeez. So Fallout 4 came out back in November, and at the time I had my sights on it as potential review material. I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about, per se, but it seemed like a nice opportunity to be timely and interesting. But after the kidney stone of an experience that was the Undertale review, I looked up from my work desk to discover the fact that not only had winter come and gone, but so had any real topicality for Fallout. I mean, yeah, you got the DLCs coming out now, but what's there to say? Make your own robots, more Sims bullshit that nobody asked for, and a continuation of Bethesda's long-held tradition of releasing DLCs that somehow involve coldness. But another topic that recently caught my eye is the upcoming title Paper Mario Color Splash. Or, it wasn't so much the game that grabbed my attention, but the crowds and crowds of people who are lining up to shit on it, decrying it as a sign of the end of the world as we know it. And it's not that I disagree with them. The game looks, walks, and quacks like a very mediocre duck. But for my own part, rather than curse the darkness, I'd much rather light a candle. So please join me in looking back at everybody's favorite Paper Mario game, The Thousand-Year Door.
Well, hello. This is Paper Mario. Oh, there's a door, too. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna make a rather unnecessary assumption here and say that those of you watching have at least some understanding of the series. It's you, Mario, come to save the day in this world where 2D and 3D share a living space, but are not currently on speaking terms.
Everybody knows they're still doing it, though.
Beyond exploring the game's overworld, you've got combat, where time button presses are used when attacking, defending, and being stylish. Upon release, Thousand-Year Door was an instant success, with fans and critics alike gushing over its fun mechanics and disarmingly witty writing and story. And Lord knows people haven't gotten any less attached to the game since then either. So what gives? Why do so many losers, myself included, adore this game? Why? I'll tell you why. This game's a big friggin' adventure. A begincher. Begincher. Look at you. You're not paying attention at all. Get up. Quick, grab the controller. The adventure's started, bitch. Now jump on that thing. But don't jump on that thing. Yeah, there you go. Holy fuck, you're good at this. Now go fight this dragon. Now save a tree. Now be a wrestler. You want a snack? Have a snack. You're a growing boy. You need some nutrition. Don't touch those. Keep playing the game. So, Thousand-Year Door is a pretty engaging game. It's vivid, it's charming, and it's got this storytelling flair that makes it feel like the whole thing was written by a really fun and excitable person, who may have possibly had ADHD. Every chapter felt simultaneously fresh and familiar, and the game has so many goodies packed into it that it ends up driving the whole experience. It's got dragons, and ghost pirates, and giant robots, and moon bases, and big-titted cloud women. Ugh. It wasn't a particularly dark or complex or unique story, but it was just a fun time. It was a begincher. A bencher. No, that's too short. But it felt like a big show. And that there is where the game's actual mechanics come into play. Because all your battles end up taking place on a stage with a very active and very capricious audience. The crowd's behavior and attitude were, more or less, dictated by your own performance in battle. The better you fight, the more support you got, and the more star power you earned. And if you could pull off really impressive stunts by being stylish, the audience would go nuts, and the crowds would get bigger and bigger until your rinky-dink community theater one-man show became the Phantom of the Opera on ice, on Broadway, starring Paul McCartney, Danny DeVito, and a hologram of Tupac.
I'd watch it.
The audience was this kind of additional presence, and it added another layer of satisfaction to battles. You weren't just saving the day, you were rocking the day's socks off. And at this point, we could just say that this audience mechanic was a neat way to change up the formula of turn-based combat a little bit, and leave it at that. But that would be ignoring a major part of how the game connects all its different elements. You see, if there's one word I'd use to describe Thousand-Year Door's play experience, it'd be spectacle. Because with this game, you're not just trying to get from Monster A to Princess B. You're a rockstar first and a selfless hero second. And this mentality sits better with players since it keeps fun at the forefront of the experience. You're bounding through these colorful storybook chapters, putting on a show that feels great to the audience and yourself. It's a brilliant method of motivating players, just by recognizing the basic instinct we all have to do well at something and be rewarded for it. Spectacle, that's what this game's got. The charm, the music, it pulls your delighted ass into its pop-up book world. It's got moxie, pizzazz, panache, ants in its pants. Set the stage, prime the orchestra, lights, camera, style, fuck. So that's more or less why Thousand-Year Door is such a singular title. It wasn't a game changer, it didn't revolutionize diddly. The only thing it's got going for it is that it's awesome and fun. And that's all it really needs. If there's anything to be learned from Thousand Year Door's continued popularity, it's that a game's worth isn't based on whether or not it was or still is innovative or groundbreaking. Like, why is that always built into the expectations of all game reviews? Imagine if we did this shit with books, where every book ever published had to revamp the way we understood English. We couldn't have every single novel be Finnegan's Wake.
Man, that'd be exhausting.
And like, of course it's wonderful to come up with new and exciting ideas. But if it's innovation that's coming at the expense of the overall game experience and story, you know, the fun part of the game, then what fucking good was it? There are all these videos out right now complaining about how Paper Mario Color Splash isn't Thousand Year Door and that Nintendo needs to get back to their roots or whatever. But the problem with Color Splash is not that it's different from Thousand Year Door. The problem with Color Splash is that it looks like a mediocre piece of crap. Remember folks, be it with movies, books, or games, a simple story told well is always better than a creative story told poorly.